pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Beagle,
I'm here.
Deputy Mayor Resnick,
Present.
Councilmember Behrman,
Present.
Councilmember Gotchel, Councilmember Grenlund Fox, here. Councilmember Sharp,
Present.
Councilmember Smiley,
Here.
quorum present.
Thank you. Changes or additions to the agenda as presented tonight. City Manager Brown?
Mayor, I have no changes nor additions, sir.
Very good. Any from the dais? Seeing none, we'll move on to the first order of business tonight, and that's presentations. We have a couple of them. The first one is a proclamation honoring Eagle Scout George Dagg. George, if you could come up to the podium, please. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody what your project was.
Okay, my name is George Dagg, and I am an Eagle Scout for Troop 272 from Milford. My Eagle project was to create a connector's path at the airline trail connected to the fitness loop behind St. Matthews. It is a lot more accessible and usable now. Thanks for me.
We have a proclamation for you today. States, whereas George Dagg from Troop 272 will be recognized by the Boy Scouts of America for successfully completing all requirements for Scouting's highest rank of Eagle Scout, and whereas the mayor and city council members of the city of Wixom recognize the faithful and steady path taken in obtaining the risk of Eagle Scout within the Scouting organization, and whereas Scouting for both boys and girls have been an integral part of our community as well as a positive influence for many years, and we note that the Boy Scouts of America are celebrating their 112th anniversary this year in the United States of America. And whereas the rank of Eagle Scout is an honor earned by only a small percentage of youth involved in the organization. And whereas throughout his 10 years as a Boy Scout, George Dagg earned 26 merit badges, helped with 10 other Eagle Scout projects, performed 120 hours of volunteer work, and intends to pursue a career in law and legislation. And whereas George Dagg reconstructed a pathway connector to the airline trail for the St. Matthew's Church and installed a culvert for stormwater drainage along the ditch near Gunnersville Park. Now, therefore, the mayor and city council of the city of Wixom hereby recognize and commend George Dagg for his achievement on the rank of Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
Go over by the mayor. Just go by the mayor. Thank you.
Oh, I'll just get it from you if you.
No, did you want to go up with the mayor a minute?
Well, sure. Why not?
Thank you.
All right. And next up, we have the reaffirmation of the oath for 2 new police officers and introduction to the mayor and city council. Chief Langmeyer, the floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for letting me come up here. It's an exciting day for Wixom PD today. I get the chance to introduce you to our 2 newest officers, 2 young men that started as PSAs here. They're the future of our department, and I'm very, very proud to get the chance to introduce them to you today. So the first one up is Officer Austin Spring, or I'm sorry, Adam Freshwater. Adam Spring, sorry. Folks, this is Adam Freshwater. He's a 2019 graduate of Livonia Stevenson High School. After high school, Adam began taking classes at Schoolcraft College, where he studies criminal justice. Adam joined the Wixom Police Department on January 2nd of 2020. You got an anniversary coming. Yeah. He was hired as a police service aide there. Adam excelled in that program, and in August of this year, he was promoted to police cadet and sent to the Oakland Police Academy. Adam just graduated on December 8th, last week. He's proven to be reliable, driven, and we feel he's going to be an excellent addition to our department. Today, Adam's joined by a lot of people, but mainly his mother, Catherine Sorrentino, Byron Freshwater, his father, his sister and brother-in-law, Aaron and Doug Couts, his grandfather, Doug Freshwater, and his grandmother, Dorothy Dwyer. Okay, do you want to swear him in?
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Wixom, Oakland County, Michigan, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities of police officer according to the best of your ability?
I will.
Congratulations.
And Catherine's mother, or Adam's mother, Catherine, is going to be pinning his badge on him.
No?
Our second officer is Officer Spring. Austin, you want to step up? Folks, this is Austin Spring, Officer Austin Spring. Austin's a graduate of Lakeland High School, and he started taking classes at Oakland Community College. What were you studying there?
Criminal justice.
Okay, perfect, criminal justice. Austin joined the Wixom Police Department in August of 21 as a police service aide. As a PSA, Austin proved to be dedicated, hardworking, and somebody that we could really rely on. In August of this year, Austin, too, was promoted to police cadet and sent to the Oakland Police Academy, where he graduated just recently on December 8th. We're looking forward to Austin giving the residents here in the city of Wixom many years of dedicated service. Today, Austin is joined by the other half of this crowd out here, but mainly his father, Mitch Spring, his mother, Jamie Spring, his sister, Caitlin Spring, and his grandfather, Doyle Rodenbeck. That's it? Okay.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the Charter and ordinances of the City of Wixom, Oakland County, Michigan, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties and responsibilities of police officer according to the best of your ability?
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Austin's father, Mitch, will pin his badge on.
Kathy has a bulletproof vest on.
If I could take just a moment, there's one person in the crowd I'd like to recognize for you. Somebody that we rely on as police chiefs in Oakland County. I know he means the world to these two gentlemen, and that's Director Dave Cece in the back. He runs the Oakland Police Academy. He's responsible for the great officers we have here in Oakland County and throughout Southeast Michigan. Without his leadership at the Academy, we don't end up with the quality officers that we have. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Adam and Austin, welcome to the Wixom family. And we're going to take a short 10-minute intermission, and we have cake and stuff in the back, and let's celebrate this great occasion. Do we have pie?
No pie.
to reconvene at, it's like 7:28. Moving on to approval of minutes, we got one set of minutes to approve tonight. That's from the regular city council meeting of November 29th, 2022. Do I have a motion?
Support.
Do I have any additions, corrections?
Thanks for giving us all.
Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of November 29th, 2022. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence tonight, which moves us to the first call to the public. The rules to the call to the public are as follows. The public shall address the council during call to the public, which shall be included on the agenda immediately after correspondence, again immediately after new business. The first call to the public immediately after correspondence shall be limited to agenda items only. A person shall not address the council in excess of 5 minutes unless the time is extended by a majority vote of the council present. Persons wishing to address the council shall identify themselves and their place of residence and shall state their reason for addressing the council. And all comments by the public shall be made directly to the council. Do we have anybody for the first call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close that. Move on. Oh, go ahead.
This is regarding...
Can you please state your name and address for the record,
yes,
please?
my name is Lance, L-O-N-C-E, Matero, M-A-T-E-R-O. I live at 2174 Koala Avenue. It's regarding a new business number 1, the drinking water. And let me start by I live in the Detroit Finnish Cooperative Summer Camp Association subdivision. And before we start spending hundreds of thousands of dollars digging up a bunch of holes to look for some mythical Wixom lead pipe, let me tell you, I recently returned from the country of Finland, and I found out they are 30 years ahead of us in clean drinking water. Those Finns in Finland really know their water. They have hundreds of thousands of lakes and some of the purest nature I've seen. What's their secret? It's real simple. They don't dump chemicals in the water. I'm talking about chemicals like fluoride. Fluoride is supposedly a dental treatment. And here's a scientific study of 2 Finnish towns I visited, Kuopio and Jyväskylä. They took out all the fluoride in 1992, and over several years, they checked thousands of children's developing teeth for cavities. They found 0 increase in cavities in these previously fluoridated towns. Their conclusion was fluoride is unnecessary. They removed it from the water supply 30 years ago and never went back. Now, every medical and dental treatment requires an informed consent. Here's the city of Wixom's. There's the logo right here. So this document admits fluoride is discharged from fertilizer and aluminum factories. It's very sneaky how it's worded, hiding truths in plain sight. It leaves out of the important part. This discharge is intentionally collected and transported by truck or train from these factories to Michigan and then dumped into the local water supply. I don't know about you guys, but I do not consent to that. If this is all for teeth, what about the dentists who support water fluoridation? I personally know members of the American Dental Association, including a prominent one who teaches at the dental school in Detroit. Let me reveal, in public, the dentists I know will support fluoride, but in private, they will filter out every last molecule. One ADA member owns 3 reverse osmosis filtration systems, and I know this because I changed the filters myself. Isn't it a little bit weird these dentists and doctors say one thing publicly and then do the opposite privately? Something to think about. So let's get our priorities straight here. It seems a little backwards to me to look at a problem at the end of a pipe that affects only 1 or 2 people, while ignoring the greater problems upstream from the city of Wixom. I urge the council to reject this proposal and look at the bigger picture. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wishing to speak in the first call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close the first call to the public and move on to city manager's reports. We have two tonight. The first one's the fire monthly report for October 2022. Any questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the police monthly report for October 2022. Any questions? It's getting up easy again tonight. Man. Moving on, consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the items will be removed from the consent agenda and added to the regular agenda at the end of unfinished or new business. Do I have a motion? So moved.
Support.
I got a motion and a support to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. Motion carries. We have no unfinished business tonight, which moves us on to new business number 1. And that's a recommendation to accept the proposals from Hubble Roth and Clark of West Bloomfield, Michigan, and Metro Environmental Incorporated of Wall Lake, Michigan, to implement Wixom's drinking water assess management plan and water distribution systems and materials inventory for a cost not to exceed $115,630 for management and a cost of $795 for each service excavation, with an estimated total of $275,070 from service line inventory account number 591-537-956.420, and approve the related budget amendment for the total cost of $390,700. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support? Very good. DPW Director Sigma?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yep, what you have before you is one of the final steps that we have for monitoring or identifying the materials that are connected to the water services. One of the state requirements, excuse me, one of the state requirements is to ensure that all services that are connected to the water supply are lead-free. And one way to verify this is through documentation and records. And we have looked through all of the records that we have for connections, and we have found a number of them that did not have a material type listed. So the requirement from the state is that to statistically prove that we do not have leaded services, we need to identify or dig up 346 of them to make sure that they are not lead services. We expect to find mostly copper and plastic in that age group of connections, but that will remain to be seen. And what we did to cover the cost for this is last January, if you remember, we applied for a grant from the state of Michigan, and we were one of 9 communities that gave us this grant. So HRC had helped us with this grant, and after the engineering piece was granted back in the spring, we asked them again to give us a quote for helping us manage this asset management plan. And we will be utilizing Metro Sewers to do hydro excavation, so there'll be small holes which will go down near the stop box to identify those services. And with the documentation, the inspection internal to the house by the meter, and the hydro excavation, we think we'll have a good plan. I'm open for questions at this time.
Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick?
Thank you, Mayor. Tim, so I understand that the asset management plan and the inventory are requirements from the state.
They are.
And they have to be filed by January 2025?
That's correct. Yes.
So the 346, that's a statistically valid sample of how many total?
Well, based on its, we have approximately 3,600 services here in Wixom, and we plan to look at the 346. Now, those were all connected to the services before 1983, I believe. And we no longer use leaded fittings for connections after that date. So we think we're well. And actually, those are the only ones left that are that old. So I feel confident that even with, once we identify these 350 roughly residents, that we have no lead in.
And then my last question is the excavation itself, is that done in the lawn?
It will be done in the lawn where the stop box, near the stop box location, so the shut off for the home. And we'll take one there, and then we'll look inside the home to where the pipe comes into the house near the meter, and make sure that those are comparable materials.
So for the homeowner, the business owner, the sod would be repaired or replaced?
Yeah, and hydro excavation, the hole should only be about a foot in diameter, and so we're trying to be as less destructive as possible.
All right, thank you.
Councilmember Berman?
Thank you. First, just in response to the question asked by our resident, this is something that we're required to do, correct?
It is.
And then this is also something that's being paid for by a grant we received from the state?
Correct.
And then lastly, which is a question I had, is if we determine some of these homes do have lead service lines, who's responsible for fixing those?
According to the state legislation, the city would be responsible as...
Okay, so we are responsible for replacing the service lines to the house if that we've found lead?
At this point, just, yes.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure, whether or not it's going to be an unexpected expense on the resident if we find it, or if it's going to be an unexpected expense on us if we find it.
It will be on the system itself. That's the way it's been handled in multiple communities throughout Michigan.
And do we envision that we'll find some, or we're hoping for none?
We are hoping for none.
Okay, fair. Thank you.
Councilmember Smiley?
Thank you, Mayor Beagle. Hello, Mr. Sickman.
Hi.
A couple quick questions. One, I know we've got till 2025. Do you anticipate it taking anywhere near that long to get completed?
Metro is hoping to get several, within like 3-month period, but it's scheduling them, on good days. So, we anticipate getting them all done within this next year. And so we'd have about a year of.
And then it doesn't sound too intrusive of a operation on an individual residence, but will we notify them that we're coming to do this? And
yeah, that's part of the management that HRC is going to provide.
Oh, okay.
help us with. It is going to take some entering the home and getting down to the meter, looking at it. So there's some it's
more intrusive than
it's going to be difficult. Just comfort of the folks that it's not an expense. It's just it's protecting their health.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, it's perfectly justified. I couldn't tell just how intrusive it would be, but hopefully they'll all be very understanding. Good luck.
That's what we're hoping for.
Sure. That's all. Thank you.
Councilmember Sharp?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Sickman, for some reason this just occurred to me, but we didn't even have city water until late 90s or something, right? Or when did the city of Wixom install our city water system, or how? Or were we always getting, I forget how I know my subdivision had well water.
Right. There were 14 different well houses.
So there's a chance that even people before 1983 had well water, like a central well or something like that. Is that what we're looking for? And then they might have had lead pipes, and the city just attached them all to the city water source without inspecting their service lines to know they didn't have, or probably didn't have to back then.
The connection was made with Oakland County to a community well system. So we had 4 different wells that I'm aware of in that 68, 69, 70 era. And Highgate on the Lake, Highgate on the Green, Palmer, and Smokler, which is close, I guess, to where you live near Wexford. So there were a few available, and also near the village, come to think about it. So
All right, so these weren't individual homeowners who attached to the city water supply once it became available. They were on some type of centralized system, even though it was well water.
Right.
So good chance we don't know exactly what's in the ground
that's-
there, serving their house.
that was our dilemma.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay,
We
thank you.
couldn't prove that it's not lead, so now we got to go through this.
Got it. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Councilmember Gotchall?
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify, again, relating to the residents' questions. This doesn't have anything to do with additives to the water, and even if it did, though fluoride isn't added at the city level, correct, since we're part of GLWA?
That's correct, yeah.
So the water comes through the pipes from them?
Yes.
Yep.
It's treated at 4 different plants in and along the Detroit River. And most of our water comes from Lake Huron
Okay.
and is treated there.
Thanks.
Other questions? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to accept the proposal from Hubbell, Roth & Clark of West Bloomfield, Michigan, and Metro Environmental Incorporated of Walled Lake, Michigan, to implement Wixom's drinking water asset management program and water distribution systems and material inventory for a cost not to exceed $115,630 for management and a cost of $795 for each service excavation, with an estimated total of $275,070 from service line inventory account number 591-537-956.420, and approve the related budget amendment for the total cost of $390,700. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Don't go too far. New business number 2 is a request for authorization to participate in the State of Michigan Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of a F-550 truck from Gorno Ford of Woodhaven, Michigan, in the amount of $52,352, and a 3-yard dump box with accessories from Truck and Trailer of Dutton, Michigan, in the amount of $35,275 from Dump Truck and Equipment Replace account number 411-441-973.392. Motion?
Move to approve.
Support.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have a capital improvement program that includes truck purchases on an intermittent basis. The truck that we plan to replace with this is a 1-ton diesel-powered truck that it's 12 years old, and with the emissions that are required for that age truck, we were having difficulty with the truck going into low generation mode more frequently than we would like, because we're typically idling or driving very slow down the roads. We utilize this truck for the leaf pickup program and other things, but more recently the leaf pickup program, and it functions well, but we're thinking its useful life with the DPW has been extended or exceeded, I should say, and we would request the replacement with this F-550 gasoline engine truck. The 550 is a little bit more horsepower than the diesel 450 that we are replacing. And one of the things that we found recently during the LEAF program is the power pickup, and that we would get with the F550 is much better than the F450 model. And also the braking system that they have on the F550 is superior for while we're pulling machines and different things. So we recommend the price differential for this is minimal between the F550 and the 450. And for what we would be purchasing, we recommend purchasing that with the 3-yard dump and a fixed 3-yard dump for that.
It came in under budget too, correct?
And it came under budget.
Very good. How long will it take for us to get this and then have the dump box and everything else put on it?
So, it usually takes about 11 months to get, so we're hoping to still get it before the beginning of the plow season next year. That truck also, we had a tough time having the state, Gorno Ford, the state lock in on the price with the state program, and so we have a small window for this, and that's why we recommend it.
Are they having the same problem with the chips and stuff like that? Or so this truck will come with?
It may, yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Deputy Mayor, resident?
Yeah, just one, in the 2007 diesel that it's replacing, is there a secondary market for that, or is it going to be repurposed?
No, it'll be a secondary market. We would auction it back off. The recent one that we had, the single axle 5-yard dump that we just sold 2 weeks ago, we got $31,000 for it. So I expect that we'll get a pretty good price for this one too.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the request for authorization to participate in the State of Michigan Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of a F-550 truck from Gorno Ford of Woodhaven, Michigan in the amount of $52,352 and a 3-yard dump box with accessories from Truck and Trailer of Dutton, Michigan in the amount of $35,275 from Dump Truck and Equipment Replacement account number 411-441-973.392. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Tim. New business number 3 is a recommendation to approve the extension of an agreement for fixed pricing for Centrex calls and enter into 2 new agreements for high-volume calling rates and complete link rates, and authorize Mayor Patrick Beagle to sign the agreements. Do I have a motion? So moved.
Support.
Chief Langmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. What you have before you is a renewal of the current contract that we currently have with AT&T and Centrex for the phone lines that go into the police department and the fire department. The annual contract, we have to sign this every year to cover those phones. We're just asking for permission to re-sign the contract and keep the rates at where they're at. There's no change to the rates at all. It's the same rates as last year. Everything is staying the same. We just have to renew the contract.
Very good. Any questions? You really are getting off easy tonight. Seeing no questions, I've got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve the extension of an agreement for fixed pricing for Centrex calls and enter into 2 new agreements for high-volume calling rates and complete link rates, and authorize Mayor Patrick Beagle to sign the agreements. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. New business number 4 is a recommendation to approve a 1-year professional services agreement with Hanka Advisor, LLC of Bowie, Maryland for various services on a prospective Beck Road improvement project for a total cost not to exceed $12,000 from consultants and personnel DPW account number 101-441-801.391, and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
City Manager Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an agreement that we've had for a few years now with Hanka Advisors for conducting lobbying efforts for us, as well as submitting grants during the course of a typical year. That workload's increased, actually, while the price has not increased, because there's a multitude of new funding sources that are coming out. Bill Hanka, the principal of Hanka Advisors, has continued to support both the city of Wixom and the city of Novi in applications for multiple new funding sources. We expect to see new things in 2023 as well, and he's kept the rate the same. His workload's increased, and we have had some success in terms of what was covered in the report with the funding of the Grand River to 11-mile stretch in Novi, which was chosen as the smallest section of the project and cheapest section of the project. We were successful in receiving a congressional directed spending allocation of $4.797 million for that as a result of Mr. Hanka's efforts as well as our own. So we're pleased with the work that he's done for us, and we're looking to extend him for an additional year. We do have multiple funding irons in the fire right now as we speak that have been submitted through Mr. Hanka, and hopefully we'll be hitting on one or more of those and hopefully be celebrating some additional successes, but we'd like to continue to retain his services at the cost of $1,000 per month for the year.
Any questions? Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Maybe just a comment. I think that, the little bit of a changed landscape with the bipartisan infrastructure bill passing, the Build Back Better Act, and the fact now that the two jurisdictions that have been going after this, Novi and Wixom, we also now have Debbie Dingell on our side.
Indeed.
With an additional congresswoman that will help. So I think we stand a much better chance over the next 4 years for some of these funding sources, and there's a lot of money out there, so I'm very much in support of this.
It's an excellent point. And success breeds success in the funding market, too. When we've already got a commitment of funding for a portion of the project, that's kind of a feather in our cap for future funding as well, because you can't get the full project done without some additional funding. So we're hopeful that that will be something that plays out in our favor as well. But the Deputy Mayor's remarks are all true with a new Congresswoman in town that's well-known and has a lot of cachet with everybody in D.C. I think that's going to be to our benefit as well.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I got a motion and a second to approve the recommendation to approve a one-year professional services agreement with Hanka Advisor LLC of Bowie, Maryland for various services on a prospective Beck Road improvement project for a total cost not to exceed $12,000 from consultants and personnel DPW account number 101-441-801.391 and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me, and that includes the new business portion of the meeting tonight. We'll move on to call to the public. I will not read the rules to the call to the public. They're all the same, except for you can speak whatever's on your mind at this call to the public. Do I have anybody for the second call to the public? Seeing none, I'll close the second call to the public and move on to City Manager's comments. City Manager Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. So the City Manager update mentioned that Crystal Apolko has successfully completed a Master Academy that took place recently, listed a variety of different subjects that she attended during the course of her attendance of that event. And just thank you to Crystal for her dedication to continuing to pursue Master Clerk certification, as well as to her boss, Kathy Buck, for letting her get out of the office to take care of that as well. So congratulations to Crystal for that, and we appreciate her diligence in pursuing that additional certification designation. Beyond that, we have some additional information on dates to remember that's listed in the calendar, and other than that, if there's anything I can help with, I'd be glad to try.
Assistant City Manager Benson, you have something?
I do. Just one quick note. This will be in my next monthly report as well, but the Planning Commission has voted to approve a meeting schedule for 2023 that will have them meet on the first and third Mondays of each month, as opposed to the first and fourth. Will not create any conflicts with any other meetings, but I just wanted to put that on the record. The meeting schedule has been published as well. You all will likely see their bylaws soon. They need to do an amendment to, I'll say, permanently codify that, but I anticipated having that on your agenda beforehand, but they aren't able to approve their bylaws without all 7 members. So we will have that to you soon, but I didn't want you to be surprised if you happen to see that change.
Very good, thank you. Council comments. Councilmember Gatchel.
Wanted to again thank our newest police officers on their promotions and wish them all as they serve the community. Wanted to congratulate the deputy clerk as well for her completing her recent Master Academy course. Congratulate the fire department and all the firefighters for another nice breakfast with Santa over the weekend. A lot of happy kids there. They got to see Santa. Got some nice gifts as well. And then just share my condolences and thoughts with Councilmember Smiley's family on their recent loss. Thank you.
Councilmember Berman.
Thank you. The only thing I'll add to congratulations to the police officer as well, but also congratulations to our Eagle Scout that was here this evening. It's a good, very good accomplishment, and I'm glad to see that we still have people moving up through that organization.
Councilmember Smiley.
Thank you, Mayor Beagle. A couple things. It's very gratifying, to see these fine young officers, coming on to the, into our family, Adam Freshwater and Austin Spring. Loves when we have an Eagle Scout being, recognized. Georgia Dagg, that was good. I had a planning commissioner a while ago asking me about that 1st and 4th of the month thing, and I thought, oh yeah, that is kind of awkward, and I'm glad they were able to fix that. I assume they're all kind of, on board with that change, so that's good. Then I just want to thank everybody here, for the wonderful plant, and all the kind words regarding the passing of my mother-in-law. It meant a lot to all my family, especially Sandy. So thank you again for that.
Councilmember Gwendolyn Fox.
Well, everyone's covered everything up here. So no, I would echo all the comments that have been made. And then I also had a question about the fire recruiting. How's it going? Is it still moving along well?
Yeah, I just got a report from the interim fire chief, Brad Giesler, and it's going very well. We're going to provide an update on that soon on a formal basis, but we do have 5 additional auxiliary paid-on-call firefighters starting pretty much as we speak. So that's outstanding news, and there's about 4 more that are very far along in the same process for pipeline and would be starting soon as well. And then there's a couple more that are early in the process, so we're in the double digits neighborhood of additional paid-on-call auxiliary firefighters. So we've experienced a lot of success, and I congratulate the fire department, both Brad Giesler and everybody else in the fire department. I think that's been putting the word out that we're looking for quality people, and we're really capitalizing on the opportunities that are presenting, so it's going very well.
Great to hear. Thank you.
And hopefully we'll cover that better in another time period, but that's something we'll cover. We'll probably have something similar. Maybe Kate will be involved soon when we bring some additional people involved here. So,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Councilmember Sharp.
Thank you, Mayor. First, my condolences to Sandy and Rob Smiley on the passing of Sandy's mother, Ida. Want to congratulate Officers Freshwater and Spring on their joining the Wixom family, and all indications are they're going to be a great addition to the force, and look forward to seeing them around, and maybe they can get trained up on the bicycles so we can see them on the bike path, because I'd really like to see some police officers this summer on the bike path. Thank you to the city staff for the tree lighting and Santa visit that was well attended. It was packed, and I saw a lot of city staffers there too, and I know you guys don't have to go to those things necessarily, but it was really a well-attended event by residents and the city team as well. And this tie's getting really tight around my neck, but I had to wear this to pay off the bet I had with the mayor about the Michigan-Ohio State game, so that's why you'll never see me in this tie again, hopefully. Thank you.
We do have pictures though, so they'll be on the marquee tomorrow. Deputy Mayor Resnick.
Thank you, Mayor. And I have my World Cup tie.
The other football.
Congratulations to George Dagg on his Eagle Scout rank achievement. That's there's a very small percentage of scouts that make it to that rank, and as an employer, it's one of the high points of when I look at a resume and I see that on there. I know that there's a work ethic and a determination and a get it done attitude behind it. Congratulations to our 2 new officers. Chief Langmeyer, if you have them ride together, it's going to be Freshwater Spring. It's a nice combination.
It's a combination.
Ride together. Also, my condolences to Sandy and Rob Smiley on the loss of Sandy's mom. And Breakfast with Santa, it was interesting. My grandkids now, there was a picture taken with the 3rd generation of kids going to that. All the grandkids from our neighborhood, and it was really interesting. They were standing next to each other, And it was kind of a rare photograph to get all the offspring of all of our neighbors together. It was really nice to see, but a great event as usual. And that's it. Thank you.
Yep, and I want to offer my condolences to Rob and Sandy on their loss. And congratulations to the Parks and Rec Department on another great tree lighting ceremony. Like everyone said, it was well attended, it was packed, and I probably heard what I think is like the ultimate compliment was I heard, as I was walking around, I heard somebody say, "This is just like a Hallmark movie." So if that doesn't hit it, I don't know. But that was good. And then Breakfast with Santa was awesome too. And thank you for allowing me to be there and to serve. I really appreciate that. It was great seeing everybody, and everybody had a great time. Congratulations to George Dragg on his Eagle Scout project and obtaining his Eagle Scout. And congratulations and welcome to the Wixom family, Adam Freshwater and Austin Spring. And just a quick reminder that if you have not already sent your 3 items that you want to see on the charter amendment process, you can email them to the city manager or myself or Councilmember Gaccio, so we can get that going in January and get that taken care of, so we have more than enough time to get what we need to get taken care of and get it on the ballot. So, and with that, do I have a motion to adjourn? So move.
Support.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, everybody.